Hi, I am doing chapter 6 of This Is Not What I Signed Up For by Marcetta Jade. Chapter 6 is Letting Go and Letting God. While I was reading this chapter, it brought me back to my marriage. I'm no longer married anymore, but it did bring me back to my marriage and how I felt when my husband no longer wanted to be in the marriage, or he gave signs until the point where he didn't want to be in the marriage, or that he was struggling with our marriage, and or how I was probably struggling with the marriage. On my end, I can only speak that, this was deep, because Miss Greer, she got into it like, man, what if I did this? What if I did that? If it's not enough, this, and that. And I just be like, yeah, wow, I can feel that. But not knowing how he felt, especially if he wasn't able to express how he felt, no matter how much I gave him that, hey, you can express, it's okay, it's a safe place. But in chapter 6, it was like, I'm letting go and let God just take over everything. I don't always talk about what happened in my marriage because it wasn't common back then. It seems like it's more common now. And I won't get too, like I said, I won't get too much into it, but it wasn't common. And I was just like, there, God, it's just a phase. It's just like, it's a phase. So he's going to get through this and we going to get our marriage back on track, because you blessed us. We did it the right way. We did this according to the Bible. We did it the right way. To everybody else, it's like, oh, what's the right way, to human form. But in the Bible, we did it the right way. So I'm just like, okay, cool, we did this. You go bless us. We're going to be cool. It's just a phase. Turned out it wasn't a phase. But it was one part in the book where she was like, she's like, I poured everything into prayer, or did I? And then that brought me back, like, how much I was on my face with God for my marriage. I prayed, I cried, I talked to my mom. God rest her soul, she was evangelist. Like, I talked and I prayed and I cried, and it was just like, I had to sit. At one point, I had to sit in the moment, and I had to be like, okay, God, what is it that you're showing me? What is it that you want me to do in order for me to have my marriage, for it to be good or for it to deplete? And unfortunately, it did deplete. Because like I said, what we was going through wasn't common in the marriage, and it was okay. But oh my God, I sat and I soaked so bad, like, it hurt me. I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt. But then eventually I got up out of it, and I crawled up out of it. And I couldn't be disobedient to God, so I had to be obedient. And unfortunately, it didn't work, but we are the best of friends. Like, we are really good. Then there was another part in the book that said, I know victory doesn't live how I feel, but it lives in what I believe. And I understand that part. And I looked at that, I was just like, wow. Because God said we have to have the faith of a mustard seed. So it don't matter how I feel. If I want that victory for my marriage or for my relationship and for me and my spouse or my significant other, I'm going to go to God and I'm going to be like, you know what, here, you take it off. I need you to just do what you need. I need you to go ahead and deliver whatever it is that's going on in this marriage, or whatever it is going on in this relationship. I need you, God, to show up, because at this point, I can't do it. I need you to do it. So I'm having that faith that I can't see, that makes for you and I to have this, for me and this person to continue to have this marriage or this relationship, especially this marriage that you ordained for us to have. Also, so then you just placed it in God's hand. But it was some questions in here that were asked about. It was some questions in here, like, also at the end of every chapter. And one of the questions was, have I mistaken surrender for weakness? At one point in time, I did. I'm not gonna lie. At one point in time, I mistaken surrender for weakness, because I'm like, I don't want nobody seeing me cry. Like, I'm always strong. I need to be strong for everybody. So I don't need nobody to seeing me cry, think that I'm weak and this and this. But then I had to think about it, like, no, like, God gonna carry my burdens. I need to surrender everything over to him. That's how I'm going to be able to sleep peacefully. That's how I'm going to be able to rest peacefully in his arms, or just rest peacefully at night and not worry and have any doubts. Yes, so that's what I end up doing in any relationship, even in my previous marriage. Like, I had to, because that was the way that I was going to be free. That was the way that I was going to be okay and be like, I can sleep at night. I don't have to worry, because I put everything in his hands. Now, do we always say, like, God, we gonna let you take the wheel? Yeah, we be sitting up there like, okay, God, you take the wheel. And we just sitting, and then he just like, I'm gonna do this. He's like, hold on, wait now. And I'm just like, wait, I wasn't ready for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just switch it up. And he's just looking like, come on now, get it together. You're either gonna let me do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna let you rest, my child, or you just go continue to take this wheel, go ahead and do all the damage, and then when you come back, I'm gonna still have grace for you, but it's gonna be a lot more that we have to work for. So at one point in time, I did take my surrender for weakness, but do I do that now? No, I don't care. My surrender is to God, and I need him to bless me with the person that I know he has me for, or in my relationship and/or marriage. Another question that was also had was that what does it look like to love from a place of wholeness instead of survival? Now, that was good for me, because I'm always thinking about survival. My thing is survival. We got to survive. We got to make sure you got this, you got that. We got to make sure everything's good, this and that. You got to have this job. I got to have it. No. Loving from a place of wholeness is just me being free. Oh, my God. And him being free. We are able to express and to show how we love each other, and to do stuff without having to have an argument or bickering or fighting. And if we do, and if it does become that way, another form of wholeness, you know what, baby, I need to go over here, I need to take me a walk, or you know what, I need to just get on the game with my guys, or I need to pray, or us just coming together, just praying together. Like, it's different ways versus then survival. Like, how am I gonna do this if this man decides to leave me, or this woman decides to leave me? How am I gonna do this if, or no. So we don't need those things. So my whole thing with that is that, like, it's just wholeness feels free, and you're able to communicate better, and you're able to love each other better and understand each other better. So that's how wholeness looks. And survival is just like, we just here because money wise, and this is how we gonna survive, because you got the money, I got the money, let's bring the money together, we good. And if we get into it, then that's just that what it is, and that's just that. Wholeness is just being able and free and bold and bringing all your problems to God without any consequences or without any struggle. It's a beautiful thing. And then the last question that she has on here is, do I believe God can restore what I release, or am I still trying to control the outcome? That hit me, because I was literally trying to control the outcome of a whole lot of stuff, and I was like, like, no, don't stop trying to control the outcome of stuff. Like, you have to literally let God deal with everything. And I believe that he can restore, because he has restored me. I can actually say that he has restored me. I've been through so much, a lot, when I come to relationships, or like I said, I've been married one time, but come to relationships, or even out there trying to date. Like, I hadn't dated before I started dating again. I hadn't dated for like a year and a half, and I put myself back out there like, I'm gonna date. Okay, cool, I'm fine. And I believe that God has restored a lot of stuff, because I could have went crazy. I could have been like, you but I didn't. I I let God. And he showed me that he can restore everything that I released out to him and bring me something different and more. And he has. So I'm grateful for that. So I'm not trying to control anything. I want God to just do everything that he needs to do for me. And I am happy and I am proud. And chapter 6 was amazing. It has blessed me. And thank you for I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
For your blessings, for your